Hey guys, it's Mr. Burns. Let's talk about the quiz that you took recently, the legislative branch Google Form quiz that was worth 25 points, 18 questions total. Some of them were worth more than 1 point depending on the format. Um, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, there are no retakes on quizzes. Part of the reason with that is, one, your vocab's due that day. So I'm assuming that with the vocab being due, that you at least looked at the vocab, you kind of reviewed it, you kind of worked on it, so you kind of have a firm grasp of the vocab. At some point, we've probably done a warm-up throughout the unit, and we kind of cleared up misconceptions. We did a warm-up the day of the quiz as well, and usually our quiz review literally gives you, if not all, most of the answers somewhere in there. Maybe it's a slightly different format, but everything is given to you. On a test, it's a little bit different, slightly higher level thinking questions, maybe multiple part questions that involve you thinking about a couple of different things before you make an answer. The quiz questions are much more straightforward. Yes, there are some check all that apply or grid, matching grid type questions, but everything was somewhere on this quiz or somewhere in the review. The quiz questions were all answered. So you really got to pay attention that day during the quiz. So let's look at I broke it up into 5 sections on this quiz. The vocab, most of you did pretty well. You can see regulates, 90% got number 2 right. Over 95 got impeach right. We reviewed that right before. Charging a government official with a crime, even better on revenue, and really good on override. So you guys did pretty well on the vocab. Look, I'm looking right here at about 139 of you that have taken it. Here's the matching part with the different levels. So we did do this right before the quiz. National level is Congress. State is the General Assembly. Kept getting a little bit tougher. The Board of Supervisors is the county, Fairfax County, and then the City Town Council. Okay, you guys struggle with some of those. That's the City Town Council is the City Town level. Okay. Did well there. That should have been 100% though, number 7, really. Number 8, remember the 2 groups of Congress at the national level. We had the House of Representatives and the Senate. You had to pick both to get it right. And 2 statements that are true about Congress. The House is based on population, 435 members. The Senate is state equality, 2 per state. You guys did pretty good on that section. Powers of the legislative branch is the 3rd one. This is an example of a test-taking strategy. This quiz was on the legislative branch. So therefore, you should have known, even if you didn't know this, you should have known that, this quiz is on the legislative branch. It says powers of the legislative branch. Which branch has the power to declare war? Legislative. Okay. It is that obvious sometimes. A lot of you struggle with number 11. 11 was a tough one. In order to provide public goods and services, we need money from taxes, tax revenue, to do that. Okay, regulating trade doesn't really have to do with what the government provides necessarily. That's just to make sure that trade is fair, and there's certain regulations that go along with that. A little bit tougher, we're number 12 and 13. Seems like 92 out of 139 got that right. A lot of you thought that you could override a veto with a majority vote. Remember, override the veto was 2/3 of Congress. All right. 2/3 of Congress there. So that was number 12. And 13 was another tough one that under 50% got it right. The president selects Supreme Court justices, and no one can override a Supreme Court decision. We did talk on the warm-up about impeaching a justice or a government official, and we talked about confirming appointments. Those were 2 of the things that we talked about on the quiz warm-up review. All right. Most of you did pretty well on a couple of these questions. A lawmaking process, a bill. First step, introduce. I can do very odd stuff. So I. Second step, can, committee. Third step, do, is debate in the House of Origin. 4th step, vote in the House of Origin, V. Very odd, so we're on odd other house. So it goes to the other house. And then send to the president is the last step. Okay. And the last few are just some questions that came from that flip video on bill to law process. So why do elected officials write laws? It's public policy to take action in response to a problem. And again, the last one you did really well. 131 of 139 got it right, so that's really good. Interest groups and individuals do have a major role in shaping legislation, mainly by being involved in the lawmaking process through coming up with ideas for new laws, suggesting laws, participating in political campaigns, and lobbying congressmen and things of that nature. Okay, that's how we are involved in that lawmaking process. All right, hopefully this helped you synthesize some ideas from the legislative branch and help you prepare for your test coming up. Remember to use the Quizlet sets that are posted to Blackboard in the course materials tab. The Unit 4, there's one for Unit 4, one for Unit 5, and one combo for Unit 4 and 5. So you can use any of those. And then make sure you also complete and review using your study guide. I'm not going to check that for homework, but it's a good study tool. You can use your notes, you can use your essential knowledge or vocab to help you with that. All right, thank you once again. See ya.